This episode wasn't it. I'm fucking with you.
Go crazy, go crazy, go crazy, no crazy, no crazy, no crazy,
Clickbait aside, I actually really enjoyed this episode. The only gripe I have with it is that we didn't get any Asnot screen time. Well, like 2.5 seconds, but that's on me. My name is Shonen, and every day that I get to say there's a new Bleach episode out, I'm just grateful. This week's episode covers chapters 49 through 494, and funny enough, the last 2 minutes of this episode is a whole chapter in itself. We pick up where we left off last episode with Ichigo and Nell popping up and, just witnessing the massacre. We do skip a couple of pages in the manga though. The start of the correlating chapter focuses on Kira and the rest of the lieutenants discussing the Rukongai disappearances while their captains meet. Granted, this mystery is a bit of fluff now that I think about it, but, still miss it. Instead, we get these Uryu and Ryukun moments sliced in between the action.
Ryuken, Father, restore to me my powers so I may continue to fight against our enemy, America!
If that is what you wish, son. But I must know. Who's your daddy?
You're so weird!
I'm your daddy.
At first glance, I looked at these Uryu and Ryunosuke moments as like irrelevant or just redundant because Opie explains the same concept to us essentially. But I looked back at it, and if you think of their purpose as like just further building up the world and, opening up the lore around the Quincy and educating new viewers, then it does make sense. This episode's main focus goes hand in hand with Yuha's plan, which is to keep Ichigo at bay while he invades Soul Society. Does a great job at that too, because once the Precipice of Defeat started playing, I lost all track of space and time. There is one moment that I will nitpick here, and it's the whole Wandenreich will invade Soul Society shot, just because this is just one of those moments where I enjoy the panel a little bit more than the shot. I don't know. It's just, I said this on Twitter too the other day, but like the kind of menacing that Yuha has in the anime is just not as intimidating as it was in the manga. It's just a different, like they're both menacing, they're both evil, they're both intimidating, but just like in slightly different ways. Aeon's perfect though, probably better than perfect, because just the panning shot that you get just to see how big he is works a lot better in the anime than it does in a manga when you're reading top to bottom. It also made me appreciate how irrelevant power scaling is in the Bleach community, because I don't have to worry about people trying to scale this to Ichigo's Shikai. Plus, Opie's about to get dogged by Bankai Ichigo anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Yamamoto's attempt to gaslight Mayuri works a lot better in the anime too, because it's pushed back a bit, so it happens just before the invasion. Unfortunately, the moment where Ryunosuke realizes that the call is coming from inside the house is cut, and I just really like that for the comedy. But I get it, you don't really need it, because you already know not to underestimate Yuha. I never liked this scene, but I guess I understand it, and it's the one with, all these irrelevant seated officers being introduced just to have Bazby come in and one-shot them. I get it, you gotta show the strength of your villains, but we're seeing that play out with Ichigo having to go Bankai to go against Opie right now. So, do we really need to show like seats 4, 5, and 6 being taken out by the Stern Ritter? No, probably not. Granted, you also one-shot Kira, a lieutenant here.
Lord Frieza, the fuck? Oh.
But you did also cut out the scene with the lieutenants, so like if you're a new viewer, it doesn't really matter, and if you're someone who's already seen this before, it still doesn't matter at all. The bigger effect here is what will happen next episode against the other lieutenants and the captains. But yeah, that's pretty much it for like differences of stuff. Like again, that Rukongai thing, it's properly cut out, but it doesn't really matter. Yuha's here. The invasion's about to begin. Get to see how strong the Stern Ritter are. We get to see them versus some captains, some weird Stern Ritter names, and obviously Ichigo's gonna be finishing up his fight over there with Opie, and hopefully making his way to the Soul Society, or trying to make his way to the Soul Society. I'm looking forward to seeing like what the episode does in between the action sequences. Like, are we gonna get more lore in between, like we did this episode with Uryu and his dad? Like, what are we really gonna touch on? Are we gonna get like some anime-only scenes of Urahara? Probably not, but I have my hope in there. If it's just straight up action and just the decimation of the captains like it did in the manga, then cool. I'm fine with it. This is what I've been waiting for. I feel like the episodes have been like pretty well paced so far from like a tempo perspective. There's been action. There hasn't been as much action as what we'll probably see next episode, so I'm cool with whatever the pace is, because I don't think it can really slow down from this point on. We'll probably have a break in between, this part of the war and the second part of the war, but as for what we can expect next episode, massacre. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've rambled enough. My name is Weekly Shonen. I will see you tomorrow for Chainsaw Man, and yeah. See you very soon. That Kenjaku video is coming out on Wednesday now because I realized, oh wait, there's a break week for Jujutsu Kaisen. Let me just put that out in the middle of the break week and also take some more time to do some more research on it because I have to reread a couple of arcs for it just to make sure, instead of just like rewatching my old video and being like, all right, here's the W's, here's the L's, if there are any W's, and just, you know, here's the part 2. I also am going to catch up to Hunter x Hunter just to see, because I like saw some stuff in the Hunter x Hunter manga while catching up from like end of Chimera Ant arc or the end of like that voting thing arc, where the anime ended, right? And I'm like, there's a couple of scenes in here that just feel like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I already know that there is a lot of influence there, but I want to see if there's specific things that I can pull out of that. If not, if it's a dead end, cool. That just worst case scenario just means I'm caught up to Hunter x Hunter now, and I do want to touch on it since, you know, the new chapter's out anyway. But yeah, that's it. That's all from me. I will see you soon. You have a great day. Bye.